Hi everybody, thank you for joining me and I hope you enjoy this video. Today I'm going to be turning a vase out of this piece that was given to me, and at this point I have no idea what it is. It looks like walnut to me, but it was really odd and different, and I could feel it was really dense. But anyway, it was cut really weird, and so it wasn't a square, and so it made the vibration on my lathe but it wasn't really as strong as cinnamon, so it still had that deep walnut smell. Anyway, getting this thing to round was sure a nice thing from having it vibrate to death. So now, any of you that have turned walnut, you know that it's really dense and it is hard to do some deep cuts, and so to put this tenon on here made it really interesting. I had to sharpen my tools, and I kept switching tools. Now I gotta adjust my speed because it was just too slow. One of these days I'll graduate to a decent lathe that I can change the speed with the dial, but for now, this is what I've got, and I'm grateful that I've got it. So now I'm going to start shaping the bottom of the vase, but I definitely had to keep going back and sharpening my tools. This is really a pretty piece of wood. I'm glad I got it. Okay, now it's time to take it off that chuck, and we'll put the other chuck on, and we'll start the other side. Now this was kind of a pain, just because for some reason it wasn't true at the bottom. I thought it was pretty flat, but it wasn't. It took me a few tries, as you can see, to actually get it to where it wasn't vibrating. But the thing that threw me off too is having it go from white to dark. I couldn't really tell where the high spot was, and eventually I got it though. I actually got this from a book that was recommended by Kim Tippin, and the book is Potter's Directory of Shape and Form, and I happened to see this in that book. A lot of it is just for pottery, but you know, you can pull your ideas from, you know, a million different places, but I thought this was just very simple, yet elegant, and so this is what it turned out to be. Right on that one white spot, there's just this one little punky area, and I was debating whether or not to dig it out and then maybe put some epoxy in it, but I thought, nah, what the heck, we'll go ahead and just leave it. And as you'll see later, I have some darkening paste that actually fills in cracks and works really well. So one of my biggest challenges right now is being able to hollow something out. I don't have a hollowing tool, and at this point you'll see me going through just about everything I've got as a tool to help me hollow this thing out, and it doesn't help that it's walnut and it's really dense, and so it makes it really tough. I wanted it to be a little bit slimmer, you know, for the hole, but unfortunately there were the screw holes, so I decided to make it a little bit wider. I really do wish that I could have made this a deeper vase, but that's okay. So what you guys didn't see is about halfway in between here and the video you've been watching, I had to take a break. And all during this, I didn't wear a mask. And so during the break, I blew my nose, and you wouldn't believe what was up my nose. I know that's gross, but and I really do need to learn my lesson and wear a mask, because that stuff sitting in your lungs, I hear, is not a real good thing. So, but hey, masks are in fashion right now, right? And I just keep cycling through and cycling through and cycling through different tools, trying to get as deep as I can, and not, you know, break the tool. But eventually I just get to a certain depth and figure, okay, well, if somebody does want to put flowers or whatever in it, there is a deeper hole, and they could do that, but it's going to be deep enough around the mouth. at this point I'm just dying to put the polish on. It's my favorite part, just to see how that wood pops and what kind of grain it's going to show. But gotta be patient, right? Trying to get that grain as smooth as possible, and then I'll sand it up. That's another thing that I need to invest in, is a dust collection system. That'll definitely help. You can see it's starting to shine. I start off with the 200 grit sandpaper and then move to 500. And what I'm putting on now is just some sanding sealer, homemade sanding sealer. It's roughly a 4-to-1 mix of denatured alcohol and shellac. Now the stuff I'm putting on now is homemade as well. It's beeswax and basically lava rock, but it's been beat into a powder, and some mineral oil. And I use that for a lot of my darker pieces, just because if there's any cracks or anything in there, it'll actually fill in with the dark, and it does a really good job. This is actually some OB shine juice. And I just got an alert saying that we're going to be quarantined for up until May 1st. But that does have a really nice shine on it with that OB shine juice. And then I use some feed-in wax over the top of that. And it comes out really nice. Now, to take that tenon off the bottom, I decided to take it to my chop saw rather than, have a tool to grind it off. And the chop saw worked pretty well. I had to circulate it a little bit, but it ended up being really straight. So here it is, guys. As you can see, it's not very deep, but came out fantastic. My wife told me this is her favorite piece. And I'll just put a little feed-in wax on the bottom, just so it blends in with everything else. Well guys, thanks so much for joining me. Please hit like and subscribe. Hope you have a fantastic day, and do a good turn daily.